Have you ever woken up with stiff knees, tight hips, or aching ankles? That dragging, heavy feeling when your feet hit the floor, as if every joint in your body resists the idea of moving. Most of us shrug it off. It's just aging, we say. It's normal at my age. But what if I told you it's not just aging? What if something you do every single morning, something you believe is healthy, is quietly wearing down your joints, day by day, without you realizing it? Let's pause for a moment. You eat well. You try to stay active. You even stretch sometimes. But despite your efforts, your knees still ache when you go down the stairs. You still feel that soreness in your hips when you get up from a chair. And walking for more than 10 minutes, it feels harder than it used to. Why? Here's the hidden truth most people never hear. Some of the most common morning habits, yes, the ones we all grew up doing, can quietly inflame your joints, reduce your flexibility, and increase pain. And it doesn't happen all at once. That's the scary part. It happens slowly, silently, until one day you realize you're not moving like you used to, that your morning pain is no longer temporary, it's constant. This is the part no one talks about. Doctors may give you pills for the pain, friends may suggest more rest or more walking. But very few people will look at your routine, what you eat, what you drink, what you do in the first 15 minutes of your day. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about. Today, you're going to discover the one morning habit that may be silently destroying your joints, especially if you're over 60. Not just that, we'll walk through a few other silent mistakes too. And best of all, I'll show you what to do instead. Simple changes, easy swaps, nothing extreme, but potentially life-changing for your knees, hips, and ankles. So if you want to keep walking with ease, if you want to reduce that swelling, the tightness, the dull ache that creeps into your day, stick with me until the end of this video, because no one else is going to explain this to you like this. And before we begin, let me ask you something. If you've ever felt joint pain in the morning, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 and consider yourself lucky. Either way, your voice matters. This video isn't just for watching. It's for rethinking how you treat your body, especially in the very first moments of your day. Now, let's gently begin exploring what may be holding your joints back. So, let's walk through those first few minutes of your morning, those quiet moments when the world is just waking up, and so is your body. They may seem small, unimportant even, but they're not. In fact, they are some of the most powerful moments of your day. And for your joints, they're either a signal of support or a shock of strain. Think about this. The very first thing many people reach for in the morning is a glass of orange juice. It's what they've always done. It feels healthy, vibrant, energizing. But when your body is just waking up, when your stomach is empty and your joints are cold and stiff, that glass of juice doesn't just wake you. It can irritate you from the inside out. Orange juice is full of natural sugars, yes, but it's also highly acidic. And while it may be marketed as a morning health drink, in reality, that sharp acidity can inflame tissues, not only in your digestive tract, but throughout your system. Especially if you're someone who already struggles with inflammation, arthritis, swelling, or soreness in the knees, hips, or feet. You might be unknowingly fueling the very pain you're trying to live with. Now, it's not the kind of pain that screams. It's the dull, dragging kind. The kind that creeps in slowly, that tightness behind the knee when you take your first step, that pressure in your ankle when you stand, that strange burning sensation in your hip when you sit down after walking. These aren't accidents, they're messages, and sometimes they're responses to that very first thing you put into your body. But let's go even further. Some people don't reach for orange juice. In fact, some skip breakfast altogether. Maybe you do this too. Maybe you're not hungry in the morning, or maybe you're following a trend. Intermittent fasting, calorie restriction, whatever the latest advice says. But here's what no one tells you. When you wake up and delay eating, your body doesn't just wait. It starts producing cortisol, the hormone responsible for waking you up and helping you manage stress. That sounds good in theory, but in practice, cortisol in high amounts increases inflammation. And where does that inflammation go? Straight to the joints that are already vulnerable. So while you might believe you're doing something healthy by skipping breakfast, your body may be bracing itself for strain. You start the day not nourished, but inflamed. And perhaps you're one of those people who compensates by hydrating. That's great. Hydration is crucial. But what if the water you're drinking is ice cold, right out of the fridge? It feels refreshing, sure, especially in the summer. But cold water in the early morning, when your body is still adjusting to the transition from rest to motion, can be a hidden stressor. It shocks your system, tightens your blood vessels, and constricts circulation. Now, circulation is everything when it comes to joints. Blood delivers nutrients, oxygen, warmth. Without good circulation, joints become stiff, cartilage dries out, and even your balance can be affected. You may think you're doing something helpful by drinking a full glass of cold water, but what your body might really need is warmth. A slow, gentle start. A glass of lukewarm water with a splash of lemon or a pinch of turmeric could do far more for your joints than any cold drink ever could. But let's not forget the most beloved ritual of them all, coffee. The smell alone is comforting. It wakes up the senses. It gives you that little push to face the day. But when coffee is consumed before anything else, before your stomach has had a chance to settle or receive something nourishing, it becomes something else entirely. Coffee, especially black coffee, is acidic. It ramps up stomach acid, which, if unbuffered, can irritate the gut lining. But beyond that, coffee is a diuretic. It pulls water from your system. That means less lubrication for your joints, less hydration for your cartilage, and more strain for the soft tissues that keep you mobile. The ache you feel in your knees at noon, the tightness in your hips by evening, it could be connected to what you drank at 7 a.m., and it's not just about beverages. Sometimes the damage starts before you even take your first sip. It starts the moment you open your eyes and try to stand. Think about this carefully. Your body has been still for hours. Your joints have not moved. Your spine has settled into the mattress. Your muscles have cooled, and the fluid in your joints, your synovial fluid, has pooled. When you swing your legs over the side of the bed and plant your feet on the floor, you're asking cold, still, unprepared joints to suddenly hold your weight. That tightness in your lower back, that sharp click in your knee, that wobble in your ankles, they're not random. They're the response of a body being asked to perform without preparation. We warm up before exercise. But why don't we warm up before standing, after hours of stillness? Why do we assume our bodies will just rise and function like machines? Maybe it's habit. Maybe it's because no one told us otherwise. But now that you know, it's hard to unknow. It's hard not to feel the truth of it each morning as you stand and wait for your body to catch up. And here's something else you may not have noticed: how you breathe when you first wake up. It sounds unrelated to your joints, but stay with me. When we wake up and immediately reach for our phones, the news, the notifications, the rush of urgency sets in. Our breath becomes shallow. Our shoulders tense. Our neck tightens. The nervous system shifts into alert mode, even if there's no true emergency. You may not feel anxious in the moment, but your body acts as if it is. And with every shallow breath, your muscles begin to brace, your posture contracts, and without realizing it, you're holding tension in all the wrong places. Your neck, your lower back, your hips, your knees. This subtle tension, repeated every morning, builds up. It's no wonder so many people say, "I feel more stiff now than I did when I went to bed." It's not just sleep, it's the pressure we invite before we've even taken 10 full breaths. And if you're someone who wakes up and immediately stands in front of a sink or mirror for 10 or 15 minutes, brushing, washing, shaving, doing your hair, then you know how demanding that position can be. Standing in one place, leaning slightly forward, often with a bent back or locked knees. It's not natural for the spine, especially not after sleep. And for older bodies, it creates strain, specifically in the lower back and behind the knees. The stiffness doesn't come from standing. It comes from how we stand. Tense, unsupported, rushed. But here's something few people talk about. Sometimes it's not even what we do. It's what we don't do. We don't stretch. We don't move gently. We don't check in with the body. We're taught to start the day productively. But what if productivity means slowing down just enough to ask, how do my joints feel today? What do they need? What will help me feel steady on my feet before the day pulls me in all directions? Because here's the deeper truth. Joint pain is not just a physical issue, it's a message. It's your body's way of saying, I need more care, I need more time, I need more softness. But we don't often listen. We brush off the pain. We power through the stiffness. We ignore the creaking, the clicking, the tightness, until one day it's not temporary anymore. It's chronic. It's daily. It's limiting. And so, day after day, year after year, the quiet erosion continues. Not because you're lazy, not because you're weak, but because no one ever told you that morning routines, the tiniest ones, matter. That a cold glass of juice can inflame your joints. That a skipped meal can trigger hormonal fire in your body. That standing too soon, too fast, can set the tone for a painful day. That breath, yes, even breath, can change the way your joints respond to the world. But what if I told you the reverse is also true? What if you could reclaim those first few minutes? What if your mornings didn't begin with tension, but with support? What if every joint in your body, your knees, your hips, your back, your hands, got just a little more help from you before the world asked anything of you? Because the good news is, it's possible. There are small, gentle, thoughtful changes you can make. Nothing extreme, nothing painful, nothing you need a prescription for. Just a few loving choices, done consistently, that send a very different signal to your body. I'm listening. I'm working with you, not against you. I'm on your side. And once your body knows that, once your joints feel that kindness, they respond. They soften. They open. They carry you with more ease. The stiffness fades. The swelling decreases. The ache steps aside. And something new begins to move in you. Freedom. So now that we've uncovered the habits that may be quietly working against your body, let's shift toward hope. In the next part of this video, I'll show you how to create a morning routine that supports your joints, reduces inflammation, and helps you move through your day with strength and calm. No pills, no pain, just awareness and action. Because how you begin your morning determines how you walk through the rest of your life. Now that we've gently uncovered the habits that may be quietly draining your strength each morning, let's turn towards something better. Because awareness is only the beginning. What truly matters is what you choose to do with it. The beauty of morning is that it holds a softness. It's the only time of day that belongs to you entirely. Before the phone rings, before anyone asks you to do anything, before the world knocks on your door. And in that quiet, you have the chance to create something healing, something restorative, something strong. Let's start from the very beginning. The moment you open your eyes, instead of rushing to sit up or swinging your legs over the bed, give yourself permission to remain still for just a little longer. Take one deep breath, then another. Feel the air filling your lungs slowly, then leaving gently. Place your hand over your belly. Let it rise and fall. This simple act is not just relaxation, it's regulation. When you breathe deeply, your nervous system shifts. It tells your muscles to release. It tells your joints that there's no threat. It tells your body, we are safe. And once you've taken those few quiet breaths, begin to move gently. Still lying down, rotate your ankles slowly in soft circles. Point and flex your toes. Let your knees bend and then straighten. Bring one knee to your chest and hug it in. Then switch. These movements don't need to be perfect. They don't need to be fast. They only need to be kind. The goal isn't to exercise, it's to awaken, to invite your joints back into motion without surprise or strain. You're not rushing, you're reconnecting. When you do feel ready to rise, do it mindfully. Sit up slowly. Let your feet find the floor. Pause before you stand. Feel the ground beneath you. Feel the weight of your body. Then stand, not as a task, but as an offering. One moment of strength, one act of intention. Before anything else enters your stomach, before coffee, before juice, before food, reach for something that honors your joints. A warm glass of water, maybe with a few drops of lemon, or a pinch of turmeric if you like. This is not just hydration, it's lubrication, it's circulation. It's a message to your body. We are starting this day together. And then, when you do eat, because your body deserves nourishment, choose foods that calm, not inflame. Maybe a bowl of warm oats, topped with chia seeds, or a spoonful of nut butter. Perhaps some blueberries, or half a soft avocado on a slice of whole grain bread. You don't need a banquet. You need balance. You need gentle fuel that steadies your blood sugar, supports your joints, and prepares you for the hours ahead. And what of coffee? You don't have to give it up. But let it follow food, not let it. Let it be a pleasure, not a punishment, to your gut. If you love the ritual of it, savor it slowly, alongside a few sips of water. And if you ever feel like exploring alternatives, try a warm herbal tea, something anti-inflammatory like ginger or cinnamon. Let your morning drink be a choice, not a reflex. What about movement? It doesn't need to be grand. You don't need a gym or a yoga mat. Just a few minutes, 5, maybe 10, of gentle walking, stretching, or simply rolling your shoulders as you stand by the window and let the sunlight find your face. If the weather is nice, step outside. Let the morning air kiss your skin. Let your eyes rest on something green or something still. These quiet rituals matter more than they seem. They calm your heart. They lubricate your joints. They bring you back into your body. And perhaps, most importantly, give yourself a moment of stillness before the demands of the world take hold. Sit quietly. Say a prayer. Read something that reminds you of who you are. Speak kindly to yourself, even a sentence or two. Today, I begin with softness. Today, I choose to care for the parts of me that carry me. It doesn't take much, just a little light, a little pause, a little grace, because your joints are not just hinges or bones. They are memory holders. They carry the weight of your life. Every step you've taken, every moment you've stood tall, every embrace you've held. They deserve more than wear and tear. They deserve reverence. And so do you. You don't have to accept pain as the price of aging. You don't have to believe the story that stiffness is normal or inevitable. What you need, what your body longs for, is partnership. Not force, not neglect, just partnership. It begins not with a pill or a program, but with one small choice, one shift, one morning done differently. And when you begin your day with love, for your body, for your breath, for your movement, your joints will answer. They will carry you more easily. They will bend with more grace. They will ache less. They will trust you. And that's the most powerful thing you can give them. Not just relief, but trust. So now you've seen the truth. You've learned how small, quiet choices, ones you may not have thought twice about, could be shaping the way your body moves or doesn't move every day. And not just your body, your energy, your comfort, your sense of independence. Maybe you recognized yourself in some of these habits. Maybe you've been waking up with stiffness and thinking, it's just part of aging. Maybe you've been feeling that subtle heaviness in your knees when you walk, or that tight ache in your hips when you stand still too long. And you've quietly accepted it, because no one told you otherwise. But here's the truth I want you to remember. You're not broken. You're not too late. You're not powerless. The discomfort you feel is not a punishment. It's not a sentence. It's a signal. Your body is speaking to you. In stiffness, in swelling, in fatigue, not to frustrate you, but to guide you. To ask for help. To ask for change. To ask for just a little more kindness in how you begin your day. And kindness doesn't have to be complicated. It can look like warm water instead of cold juice. It can look like a deep breath before you rise. It can look like moving your feet in slow circles before you ever leave the bed. It can look like choosing not to rush, because your joints remember how you treat them. They respond to pressure, but they also respond to gentleness. They heal when you honor them. They soften when you listen. The truth is, aging isn't the enemy. It's not aging that's stealing your strength. It's neglect. It's silence. It's years of doing without knowing. But now, you know. And knowing changes everything. You don't need to wait until the pain gets worse. You don't need to accept the slow decline that others have resigned themselves to. You can choose differently. Not in a dramatic way, not with drastic diets or heavy routines, but with simple, honest attention to the way you begin. Because how you begin your day is how you begin your life, again and again. So here's my invitation to you. Just try one change. Tomorrow morning, choose one habit to do differently. Stretch in bed, breathe deeply, sip something warm before anything else. Sit in stillness for just a moment longer. Then notice what shifts. Notice how your body feels when it's not rushed or overwhelmed or ignored. And if that small change makes a difference, keep going. Let your mornings become your medicine. Let your rituals become your relief. Because you deserve to move freely. You deserve to rise without wincing. You deserve mornings that don't begin with dread, but with lightness. And if no one has told you lately, let me be the one to say it. Your body is worthy of your attention. Your joints are worthy of your love. And your life, no matter your age, is worthy of being lived without pain. Before we close, I want to ask you something personal. If this video resonated with you, even just a little, Would you let me know? Leave a comment and tell me, which habit surprised you the most? Which one will you try changing tomorrow? I read every message, and your story might be the one that encourages someone else to begin again too. If you've made it this far, I also know one thing about you. You care. You care about your health. You care about moving better. You care about living well. And I want to honor that. So if you found this helpful, consider subscribing to this channel. Hit the bell so you never miss a new insight. Because we're here every week, helping you understand your body in ways no one else does. And finally, if this message spoke to you, type the number 1 in the comments. If not, type 0. It's not about right or wrong. It's about listening to your body and being honest with yourself. Because change begins with awareness, and healing begins with choice. You're not alone in this, and your body, though it may creak or ache or feel tired, is still yours, still listening, still capable of more than you know. So tomorrow morning, begin again, softly, mindfully, and let your joints thank you for it.